Children's books are known for pictures. From simple shapes and bold colors of Eric Carle's The Very Hungry Caterpillar, to the fantastic childlike visions of Maurice Sendak in Where the Wild Things Are, to the quaint pictures of E.H. Shepard for A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh. These pictures illustrate the texts, helping bring the stories to life in the minds of young readers. Combining pictures with text creates a pleasing experience of sight and sound. However, pictures serve a different purpose in books designed to teach reading using sight words. Here, the pictures help complete the story by filling in gaps not explained in the text. The pictures also help students guess the words in the story. And why do students have to guess the words? Because they haven't been taught phonics and they don't know how to sound them out. Here's a sight word reader published by Saxon. The book's called Dan's Van, and oddly enough, it's labeled phonics and spelling. But it's not. It's a sight word reader. Almost every word in the book is one of Dolch's high-frequency words. The only exceptions are the names, Dan, Val, and Fuzz, and the words van, vet, pet, and rub. As I go through the book, I want you to notice the pictures help the students guess the words, that the pictures complete the story, and that the new words are introduced with needless repetition. So, let me start from the beginning. Van is not one of Dolch's high-frequency words, but the book starts with a picture of a van. So even if the student can't read the word van, doesn't know the sound for V, A, N, N, V, N, the student can guess the word. It's clearly a van. Again, on the first page, a picture of a van. I have a van, said Dan. I'm not a vet, said Dan, but I can help pets. I have a big dog, said Val. Can you help him? And again, there's a picture of a dog to help guess that it's a dog, even though that is one of Dolch's high-frequency words. Yes, I can, said Dan. Val's dog Fuzz gets into the van. I have to rub you, said Dan. Here, Dan is shown rubbing the dog. The picture helps students guess the word, and the word rub, which is not one of Dolch's high-frequency words, is repeated to help the student memorize the word. This is done because when the student learns to read from sight, he doesn't know the sounds. R, R, U, B, B. I have to rub you. You did it, said Val. I have the best pet, and you have the best van. Notice the limited vocabulary. The story's boring. It really isn't a story. Making an interesting story with a strictly limited vocabulary is difficult at best. Also notice that while the story, the written part of the text says, I have to rub you, the reader wouldn't know that Dan's washing the dog without the picture. The picture helps complete the story. All such sight word readers are boring. Famed teacher and author Marva Collins described such texts in her book, Marva Collins' Way. After a few weeks, my students were bored with the required second grade reader. I couldn't blame them. There were no real stories in those books, nothing to occupy a child's mind or stimulate thought. The pages were filled with pictures of boys and girls playing, and below the pictures were sentences like run, pepper, run, and see, pepper, run. There was no reason for the children to bother reading the words. All they had to do was look at the pictures. When pictures are used this way, it's meant to help students read the book. But doing so teaches students to guess the words rather than read the words. This also trains the students to take their eyes off the words that they're reading when they come to new or difficult words, and to look for the pictures to help them guess rather than read the word. If students can't guess from the pictures, they look ahead at words that they know and try to guess the missing word. Once developed, this habit of wandering eyes is detrimental to reading. Pictures have a place in literature, especially children's literature. They can help young readers visualize the story. They can add humor or suspense. However, the pictures themselves do not help students learn to read. In fact, they often do the opposite. In The Underground History of American Education, John Taylor Gatto puts it this way: pictures have nothing at all to do with learning to love reading, except too many of them will pretty much guarantee that it never happens. By all means, read books with your children, read with your students, read picture books, talk about the pictures, ask questions about the pictures, but don't let young readers guess words when they're actually reading. Have the students sound out the words. If they need help, sound out the words with them. In short, if you're teaching your children to read, teach them phonics. If you teach kindergarten or first graders, teach them to read with phonics and don't teach them to memorize sight words. If you work with older children that are having difficulty reading, teach them phonics. If you work with adults who are learning to read, teach them phonics. In short, if you really want to teach someone how to read, teach them phonics.